Today is September 12th, 2021, and it's time for episode 15 of Pineapples and Thorns. Today we are talking with Torilla Tavatan, so let's go meet at the market square. Hello and welcome to the show. Today we have Peter with us.
3 stars for the good guys.
Welcome, Peter. And myself. And I'm super excited today to introduce our special guests, both of whom I've had the pleasure of playing with in Valar Morghulis, ODS, and MacGyver from Torilla Tavatan. Welcome, guys.
Hello, hello.
Hello.
So why don't you each tell us a little bit about your Clash history, when you started playing, and how you came to be playing in TT. ODS, you want to go first?
Sure. Let's see. I first started playing Clash about 7 years ago when my son started playing. He went to school, and his classmates were playing, so he wanted to download the game, and he joined a clan with them, and he started begging me to play with them, and I refused. I didn't want to play for the longest time. It took me 3 months before I finally agreed to play. I remember taking over his iPad at night when he was sleeping and doing attacks for him and or messing with his face and stuff. Yeah, it was bad. It was bad. But I started playing then, and I haven't stopped. Slowly but surely, found my way to Valar Morghulis, as you mentioned, and been the leader there for the past bunch of years. And now we're playing in TT, in Torilla Tavatan.
Mac, how about you?
Well, to be honest, I don't remember when I started, but it was a time when Hog Riders didn't target defenses.
Wow.
So probably really long ago. I played like on and off back then, but then when they introduced the clan wars, I think that was the point when I was started playing more and more. And there was like few clans what got divided because of that, because some people just wanted to farm, and we have a bunch of people that wanted to play only wars, and it was around, I think, 2017 when it was CVL Season 2 where we joined with another clan called Varhaiseläke. I was playing back then in one Finnish clan what doesn't exist anymore, and from that point on, I think that I can really count that I've started really playing. TT came along like around 2019, 2020, when they introduced World Championships and those Town Hall Cups. And that was also the point where I think Varhaiseläke was in a point that there wasn't much activity anymore. And basically, after that, the only actives who were there played with us in TT, and it has been like, I think, 5 to 10 people. Some are retired already, but some are still playing. For example, VB from TT is, I think he is the one that I've known the longest.
Yeah, to piggyback off that, I met Mac actually that Champions World League Season 2 in 2017 when VM had a war against Varhaiseläke in that season. So we met that season in negotiations, started joking around then, and at the point where VE stopped playing, that's pretty much when he asked me about joining VM.
Yeah.
So yeah, we brought Mac in, and he stuck with us through a tough first season together, but things turned out much better after that, with us winning CWL Invite last season in Season 9. He brought Usvi over, and Usvi is a star Town Hall 12 player. And VV came in and played 11 with us as well. So we've had a tight relationship for a while now.
What town halls do you each play, and what's your favorite one to play?
Well, I basically play mostly Town Hall 14. I have Town Halls from from Town Hall 8 to Town Hall 14, except Town Hall 12. And no, not 13 anymore also, because I upgraded my second account also to Town Hall 14. But basically I play only 14 and sometimes 9 or 11.
Mhm.
Yeah, and then Town Hall 10. Well, I'm in a league with that, but that's not maybe my favorite Town Hall. I think I know. I'm in a roster, but I don't play that much. If I have to say that something Town Hall besides Town Hall 14, I think I might like Town Hall 11 or 8 at the most.
What about you, ODS?
Max says that, but I'm the one who makes him play 9 and 10 in leagues. So, yeah, he can blame ODS for that one. I personally had accounts from Town Hall 5 all the way up to 14 with at least one of each type. I was really hoping that they would bring back the Town Hall Cups from 2019.
Yeah.
The Queso Cups were pretty good. So that's part of why I built some of these accounts. But for me, I play a lot of 14 right now. 11 and 9 are pretty easy and straightforward. The most fun Town Hall for me personally, I think, is Town Hall 10, No Siege.
Oh, yeah.
Because, yeah, Lady B and Wasman hear me say this all the time. Probably tired of me saying it. But it's the most balanced gameplay that Clash of Clans can offer right now. You can use any troop and triple. You don't have to use any particular troop to triple. Like Town Hall 9 and Town Hall 11 are very, very strong with witches and or Zaplalo.
Mhm.
And if you're not using one of those two ideas, then you're kind of, putting yourself at a handicap. But at Town Hall 10, you can use anything. You can use 7 P.E.K.K.A.s. You can use P.E.K.K.A Smash. You can use Zap Drags. You can use Lalo, witches, whatever it might be. Anything in triple.
I think I disagree with you on Town Hall 9 because you know what me and VB uses.
Yes, I do. I do. You guys use the Queen Walk into Golem Wizard.
Queen Walk, Golem Wizards.
Yeah, using Go Wipe.
Pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Actually, at that 9, Go Wipe is pretty strong.
Yeah, but that doesn't work in like in those Town Hall Cups because in Town Hall 9
No.
it's mostly like average attack duration what counts. So that's so slow that it isn't good in there.
And that's my issue with Town Hall 9, just that it becomes a speed run,
Yeah.
Whereas the triple rate at Town Hall 10 is somewhere around mid 30s. So, if you play Town Hall 14 a lot and you don't triple right now, you kind of feel like you let everyone down and you fail, And if you triple at Town Hall 14, it's you did your job, great, move on.
Right.
Triple at Town Hall 10, you still feel great when you triple, and you don't feel like you let everyone down when you don't.
Very interesting. We're hearing a lot of discontent at Town Hall 14, and I think for those very reasons.
Yeah.
It's a tough time right now for the true pros. They are somewhat discouraged, and a lot of people will say, "Well, the meta is the same for everyone," and that's true. But it is a little bit of a simpler meta for the regular players, And I mean, us being here right now is kind of an indication of that, maybe.
Yeah, I agree on that. But I think that if we talk about the meta, I just noticed that for example, if we talk about our hits in the last qualifiers, basically there was a lot of clone drags. Now that I saw that Bad Singer tried to do the same, but they don't triple with it. I know it is spammy and easy strat, but it's still not that easy that you can just go and throw those troops in. But yeah, I know that the real pros are a little frustrated, but I know the base builders are also.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because that's really tough to if you try to bait it those strats, you really don't have much of an options.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot to defend right now.
Yeah.
And it becomes a lot of mind games.
Yeah.
If you watch the Clash Masters streams of their playoffs, just watching how the teams like ATN and Space Station were working things through. You saw queen charges get baited and healers die, and then players were shifting to more spammy attacks.
Yeah.
And it's kind of, I always talk about how it's rock, paper, scissors. There's an evolution to things. Bases will change. Attacks that are strong now will change to different attacks in the future as people adjust. And
Yeah.
it's that cycle
Yeah.
between attacks and bases.
Yeah, and I think that's one of the reasons that you many times you see those pro teams do the spammy attacks in world qualifiers also, because they know that opponents have baited bases against their hits, and they think that if they try like queen charge minors or something like that, there's a big risk that you get baited heavily and make a 1-star.
Right.
So let's talk about the team, and I'm going to hope that I pronounce everybody's name correctly. I have a nice little pronunciation guide that ODS gave me. Conan, Pasta,
Yeah.
ODS, Usvi, Vanna, and Mac.
Yeah.
So talk a little bit about each member and what each of them brings to the table. Are any of you guys friends in real life?
I'll let Mac handle that one, but
Okay.
let's not forget a couple of other guys. Mac, you take over.
Yeah, well, of course, we basically have 8-player roster right now. On top of those, there is VB and KR. And VB and KR haven't played that much yet. If we think about the last few months, VB has some busy stuff in real life, and KR's base is little light at the moment. But yeah, I think if I think about this like in hitting order what we had in last qualifiers, Vanna is the one that gets the plan in like 1 minute. He's the one who picks the base first, and then that's maybe the main thing to say about him. And he's also really young, 16 years old, and he didn't fail a single attack. Oh, did he have 199 in the whole qualifier last month?
In our 4 wars during the qualifiers, he tripled all of them.
Yeah, but I'm thinking the pre-qualifiers also.
I think he had 2 high 90 attacks, and everything else was a triple.
Yes, yeah, that's true. Yeah,
I think in 97, 99 he had.
Yeah, and that tells me that he doesn't have nerves. He just goes and triples. I think if I think about Costa, he has really well adapted the new clone drag strategy. If I think about him like before this strat, he mainly do like a Pekka smash or something like that, so some drag bats or Pekka bow bat or something like that. So when he finds a good strat, he's really good at adapting that for himself.
Yes.
And also he can really well explain how to do it and feed the plans to others also.
Yes. Let me interject there.
Yep.
Sorry.
No worries.
Costa, along with all of the Finns, okay, we definitely got labeled as a drag clone clan from the last qualifiers, and that's fine. Everyone can think that. I've played with Costa for several seasons now in VM, in CWL, in Champs World League, Elite 15. And what I see all of the Finns doing very well is adjusting to what is strong at the moment. And that's dependent on what the bases are giving us.
Yeah.
If it needs to be air, then it's air. If it needs to be ground, then it's ground. It's just that 2 weeks where the meta changes and the Finns are on top of it, and Costa is especially on top of it.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it was AOG that first started doing the drag clones. Costa is the one who identified various important things within the drag clone attack that he was able to share with us that helped us execute it effectively. We didn't bring the 4 clones all the time. We brought 3 or 2. The idea of what to look for on a base, how to approach a base for that attack, and it really helped me a lot, and I know it helped the rest of the team as well. And he's very, very good at doing that.
Yeah. And then Conan, I think he's one of the people in the team that can do a lot of different strategies. He likes to use drags. He has used them like for years now in any town hall level. But I think there is that he is also really flexible on what to do. He usually most of the times he ends up taking those bases that we don't like. Same goes for Usvi for many times. And to jump to Usvi on that, I think he is the one that makes the most complex plans if needed. But he is also really good at listening to Vane and how he does his hits, and he can. I mean, I think he did his first Inferno drag hit on the pre-qualifiers by just listening to Vane how to do it, and Vane was spotting him and tell him what to do, and he executed it like he has done it. That looks like he has done it like 100 times.
Yeah.
Impressive.
Yeah.
By the end of the qualifiers, he'd done it a total of 20 times.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Wow.
That's including the 14 wars that we had from the pre-qualifiers and qualifiers. So
Yeah.
Osvi is an execution machine.
That's about that lineup, except ODS, and I think ODS is the one that he comes with his great wisdom and keeps everyone calm and can really have a good effect on the team, and also is really flexible about how he would hit. I mean, he can take a plan from Kaste, he can take a plan from Conan or someone else. The majority of the hits are like ground smashes or those drag clones, I think. And yeah,
My value to the team is definitely not in my attacks. It's hopefully in the other stuff that I bring to the table.
Yeah.
So let's go with that.
okay, if you want. Yeah, and I think for the rest of the team that didn't play, say that I haven't watched much about how KR is doing his hits, but I know he's good at Lalo, and VB is also really flexible about doing either like Queen Charge Miners, Queen Charge Hybrid, Queen Charge Lalo, and all of that. So, and he is also pretty good with like those spammy witch hits or something like that.
The point I brought up before is that the Finns are really good at hopping in front of the meta, and being at the leading edge of the meta. They're also really willing to work on aspects of the game that they don't feel like they have under wraps. Both Osvi and VB, about 4, 5, 6 months ago, realized that they weren't laloing much, right? So they forced themselves to play in Legends and only do Lalo the whole month in Legend. And they got to the point where they were more comfortable, and I think that's really an important point for everyone out there, that if you want to get better at the game, if you want to be more successful, there are ways to do it. You just have to do it.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Could you tell us what Trilla Tavatan means? A little bit of the history of the clan and where that name came from?
The name comes from, it's basically a phrase that Finnish people say if we win something big, like let's say a world championship in hockey, and then that's something people shout. And if you translate it straight, it means meet you at the market square. So just people go out and celebrate, and if you Google it, you will find a picture what we call the Torilla Tavataan guy. It's a man waving a Finnish flag on the other hand and having a beer on the other hand.
Right on.
And he is topless in the middle of the market square at night.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's about the name. Clan history is. So it started with me, VB, Usvi and Kaste around when Town Hall 12 was the highest Town Hall, and they started those world qualifiers. We've been playing together like a few seasons in CVL Elite 15, and then we had few people come and go at the beginning, but it pretty fast went to the point that Conan joined us, and Then after that, I think there was Bond 1000, who is basically a base builder who is retired now. And then Lake and Aatu, they both have played with us also from like season 2 on the Champion War League. And yeah, I think we pretty much played with the same people until a few months back when ODS and KR joined with us, and then also
And
yeah, and Vane also, yeah, he joined about the same time you guys did. That was the point when Aatu, well, he's not retired, he's currently studying in Germany, and he said that he will be out at least end of the year. And then Lake doesn't play that much. He's also at school. Bond retired around, I would say, pretty much after the last World Championship finals, because he was building bases for so many teams that he just had it enough.
So a couple of months ago, when ODS and Vane joined, that's when the real push became to let's get this group and go to the end, go to the World Qualifiers, get to the championship.
Yeah, I mean, we have tried it again every month. We've been close, really close, few times, but I think it was a combination of the current meta. Of course, we need to have some luck in it, but also I think that when we had played with these new additions for a few months, I think everything somehow just clicked together. And well, I can say that how we pick the team to the qualifiers. It's basically just we have an opt in or opt out, and we look who's available on that weekend. That just happened to be that those guys who made there were available on that weekend.
yeah, and I'll say that Lake and Aatu, I've been hanging around TT for a while now, for almost a year now, just watching their attacks, helping out with SCCWL and everything. And Lake and Aatu are really, really strong players. They TT as a whole made it to Champions War League Elite finals and semifinals well before ever coming to VM to play. These guys are good players. It's very much that the luck was with us last month. It's very much the meta as well, and just a little bit of just luck and team chemistry is a big part of why we made it as far as we did. TT very well could have gotten this far before then. About the lineup that ended up playing, it really is kind of funny because Mac was going to be the fifth player. I was going to sit out mainly because the pre-qualifier started at 6 a.m. for me. And I put myself down as a sub, I was happy to sit out. And then Mac ended up traveling to the woods for the weekend and wasn't certain about his Wi-Fi connection. So he asked me if I would play.
Oh my.
And I actually almost slept through the first war of day 2.
Yeah. VB gave him a wake-up call.
Yes. Yeah, I had fortunately given VB my number before then, just in case, and I woke up and saw all these messages from Mac, and Mac tried to call me on Discord and everything.
Wow.
But it was the actual phone call from VB that woke me up. And I woke up, he called me right as the first war was about to match of day 2.
Damn, that's so close, eh? So beyond the gameplay and having to set an alarm for 6 a.m., what other stuff did you have to, get in place? You talked a little bit about the cameras, ODS. I wonder if maybe you just run us through, well, maybe Inquisition's bad luck from their camera point of view, and then the other things you had to have in place just prior to playing.
Sure. So for the pre-qualifiers, there isn't all that much to do. The day 1 wars, you just need to get your attacks in at any point in time. For the second day of pre-qualifiers, it is timed attacks throughout the day, following the pretty typical now format. First attack might be at 37 minutes, and then the other team's first attack would be at 33 minutes, and every 4 minutes thereafter would be an attack. And that's, for the benefit of streamers. It's for the benefit of that teams don't have that much time to do anything somewhat sketchy or anything like that.
Uh-huh.
But then, we had this week after we made it to the top 6 teams through the pre-qualifiers and into the monthly qualifier. We had this week of preparation in which there were lots of things going on, lots of friends helping out in addition to the full team. Everyone was involved in working our bases over, getting us ready. We had Dark Ghost that I know from Elite of Valor, Agent 33, who plays in Space Station, helping us out, testing bases and stuff. And I've known Agent for a number of years now from North Watchers and from VM. We had Sir Iron helping us out, and Conan knows him. Boom from ATN gave us a recommendation as well to him. It's just really very much about a full team, about friends helping out, and working us to get us as ready as possible for the week. And I met all these people. We met all these people through the various community leagues, mainly Champions War League, CWL, and No Dip League, the NDL. And it's really, I think, where all of this comes from. In 2016, when when Clash of Clans first introduced the idea of friendly wars, community leagues popped up.
Yes.
And it wasn't until 2019 when world qualifiers began, and this idea of a CWL World League thing came up, and the relationships that we built along the way through these community leagues is why we're all here, right? I've known Kat since 2016. I've known Peter since 2017, I think.
Yeah.
And I mentioned earlier that I've talked with Mac since 2017 when we negotiated a war against each other. So those community leagues are a great place to get started. It's where I've made friends that I know are lifelong friends. And that's really kind of cool,
Would you say you enjoy the 5v5 format more, or the old mixed breakdown, like the CWL type leagues?
The game has definitely evolved. It used to only be about 24 hours of prep and 24 hours of war, and setting bases, and being on voice, planning with each other for lots of those hours of war. It's definitely evolved, and it's very much about the short format now. And I mean, anyone who knows me knows that I used to take a long, long time to plan attacks.
I think you left out a couple of longs in that statement.
I mean, I legitimately remember our first war in season 2 in VM and planning for 6 hours for one 9v9 attack. So I definitely took my time. And it's weird now. You want more of the behind the scenes info about what happened during the qualifiers, and I can tell you that the wars are set to be generally 5-minute prep and 45-minute wars.
Mhm.
By the 38-minute mark, you have to tell them the exact order in which the team will attack. So, and you can't change it after that. So I was responsible for typing in game chat what our attack order would be for that war.
Yeah.
And then you generally are attacking on that similar time frame to what we're used to, that 37-minute, 33 minutes, and so on. But they'll tell you to attack whenever they tell you to attack, and you have to go. So you also have to sit in the same voice channel the whole time during that war. So it isn't as if I can split off with Costa after he does his attack, and he and I can talk separately about a plan while Conan is spotting Usvi or something,
Yeah.
So we have to sit in the same voice channel and try and figure out all of our plans and spotting and so on together. So it's very much about being self-sufficient at this point and taking only a couple of minutes to really work through your plan and knowing what you want to do. To me, it's kind of amazing. Like, people talk in the chat in the stream chat and stuff about X player choking or Y player choking under the pressure or whatever. It's amazing to me that players are as successful as they are, given the circumstances under which you're operating.
Yeah, I think that's a big thing that people don't realize, that you don't have the same luxury what you have in your regular wars. Even if you have like same timed attacks, but being in a one voice channel, and also that you have to decide your attack order at the after like 5 to 10 minutes.
Yeah. We cannot see that on the stream, right? We only see you guys
Yeah.
going, and we see one picture at a time. It's very,
Yeah,
that's very eye-opening.
and also I think that's one of the reasons that spam hits are more and more used in the qualifiers, because you just don't have time.
Yeah, it's difficult to work out all of the aspects of a funnel for a queen walk or a queen charge in the time frame that you get. So there tends to be a bit more spam for sure, I think. But I kind of ducked the question you initially asked me. You asked me about cameras.
Oh, yes, please.
So first off, on that aspect, I think it utmost respect to Inquisition. They were really strong during the qualifiers, and it's really unfortunate what happened to them. It's unfortunate what happened to the clans that have been disqualified in prior months. It's just the way of the world right now. The pandemic, not being able to do live qualifiers. Clash of Clans needs some sort of system to make sure that people are playing fairly. It's supposed to just be the 5 players who are playing on the team, who are communicating with each other, and nothing else. So they came up with this system of integrity cameras. So we're all on video in Discord, in our own Discord channel, with an admin watching us, with several admins watching us, I'm sure. So I have an integrity cam, Usvi has an integrity cam, and we had a technical meeting during the week in which admins told us how to set up our integrity cams. They need a view of your device, and they need a view of your face, your body, while you're attacking, during the whole war. So you have to be on integrity cam, from the start of prep to the actual end of war. And for Conan, we found out that Conan plays on his couch, laying on his back, so on his cell phone. So we had a tough time trying to figure out how to set up his integrity cam so that they could see his device and his face at the same time. But yeah, it's definitely a unique situation. We have the integrity cams. I had my broadcast cam, which was my cell phone propped up on my table next to me, and then I also used a backup integrity cam as insurance in case I had a power outage or a Wi-Fi blip or something. So I had another laptop set up to my left that was overlooking me in case anything bad happened. It's, again, really unfortunate what happened to Inquisition, and much respect to them. They're a very strong team. But I also understand why Clash of Clans needs this.
Yeah, for sure.
And I'd rather, not blame them for the disqualification, but rather the people who force stringent enforcement of rules,
Agreed.
So we've talked a little bit about the various types of leagues that you guys have participated in. Was there anything that particularly stands out for you in one of those, like a memorable moment, favorite memory?
Well, I know ODS remembers CBL in one season 9.
Yes, congratulations.
Yeah, so do I also, but well, I think the most memorable for me would be the first season when we joined with Varhaiseläke, because I really haven't done any friendly wars before that. Maybe a couple of potlucks or a couple of friendly wars just before the season, and I think the whole season is maybe somewhat memorable, because we made it like in second round of playoffs, or maybe even in third. That I don't remember. But with the people that have just joined together, and with like a zero league experience at all from no one. So I think that's maybe the most memorable thing for me, to get that far
Yeah, that's great.
with those people who haven't played a single league before. And funny thing was about that, because the meta was way different back then. You do like 10v11 heat ups, and 10v10 triples were really hard. So I think if I remember correctly, we did in all season a total of maybe 3 10v10 triples. Still managed to get in the round 3 of playoffs, round 2. Not sure which one was it. Yeah, I think that was a lot about the team effort what we did back then.
Oh yes, how about you?
You're asking what my favorite memory might be from the various leagues we played in?
Yes.
Yes, very much. Winning CWL invite in season 9 in VM is an absolute highlight for sure. Me personally, I've been on teams that had gotten close before. North Watchers season 4, we made it to the finals unexpectedly, beating a 4B team in the semifinals that everyone thought was unbeatable. There have been a number of incredible wars, that I've been part of in the various community leagues. Every once in a while on VM Voice, we get nostalgic and we talk about the best wars we've ever been involved in and stuff. Even, going to the short format wars, playing US Mobile Open last year with a bunch of friends in Weight Watchers was really exciting. But I think the most memorable thing for me overall is just all the friends that I've made. The hours that we've spent on Voice together, joking around about things, whether it's in war or outside war, being able to spend that time with friends, and most of whom, I've been lucky enough to meet about 20 clashers, but most of them I've never met in person, and that doesn't really matter. There are people that I would trust with my life that I've made friends with through Paul. That's what sticks with me the most about this time, about the 7 years that I played Clash.
Very good.
Moving into the September qualifiers, like you were unknown for August pretty much by the community as a competitive team. How are you guys handling the pressure as we move into September? You're no longer quote unquote the underdog. Do you feel more pressure this month?
Pressure?
What is pressure?
I mean, well and truly,
Yeah.
like we did this thing in August, right? And Mac, in our team meeting afterwards, Mac talked about how nervous he was watching us do these attacks on stream, and how he hadn't felt that way for a long while.
Yeah, I think we need to go back like somewhere in Champion War League season 4, some playoff matches or something like that. But it was really funny because when Vanny did the first attack and the first day, for the morning for us it was 4 a.m. But I think it was really funny because my hands started shaking like I was doing the attack at that point. And I didn't have that same shake in my hands like in years. But it came a lot easier after that first attack after all those first 5 attacks when those guys did a perfect war. Then after that I wasn't that nervous at all.
It really highlights how much we were prepared, and how relaxed we were.
Yeah.
That first war against Wahaha, and a really strong team, right? Everyone knows those guys, they're really strong and everything. And we managed to perfect war. We were the only team that had a perfect war in the qualifiers. And we managed to hold them down to 10 stars. We were the only team that held another clan down to under 12 stars throughout the whole qualifiers.
Yeah.
It was definitely a fun start to the qualifiers for us.
Yeah.
And truly, I don't think any of the 5 of us were really nervous. And I think it showed in that first war. We were just we were all on video camera, as I said, for the integrity cams, And this is the first time that some of us had been on video camera together. There were lots of jokes going around. We really just had a lot of fun with it, and I'm sure that September will bring the same. That we're just going to have a lot of fun with it. We're going to play our best. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, and I think one of the main reasons that everyone could be so relaxed that because we knew what was coming, we were preparing for it. We trained the hitting order, and we also decided that we have a default hitting order, and if needed, it would be changed. But I think there was only one or two times that you guys hit it in the different order, and it was basically like ODS hits before Conan or something like that.
Yep. So I was they asked me to be the captain for the week, but Max, our true captain, and he, had us really prepared. Did a bunch of training wars where he played the part of the admin.
Yeah.
He would demand that we provide an attack order on time. He would tell us when to attack. He threw in some oddballs into there, making sure that he interrupted us when we were planning and telling us to attack.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, a lot of luck is involved, but preparation is how you make your own luck, right? And Mac had us ready to go.
Yeah, I mean, I just think that helps a lot in that point when you, let's say, go into unknown, and you will be more relaxed because you don't have to focus on anything else but the war at that point.
Great advice. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like driving somewhere new. You have to pay attention to the road. Am I making the turn here? Am I not making the turn there? Versus driving somewhere you've been to plenty of times before.
Right.
And you can focus on the song on the radio. So it's very much like that. And we were able to just sit around and joke around, and there were so many things that we can laugh about.
Yeah.
From those wars. If you watch that first war, you'll see that Usvi was wearing a pink hoodie. And what he had tried to do was find a Kirby hoodie, our team mascot, Kirby, the Nintendo character. And you see him when he has the triple in the bag for the perfect war. He pulls the hoodie over his head to look more like Kirby. And then he starts bouncing up and down just like Kirby does.
That was awesome.
That's one of the things that happened, and that really just shows how relaxed we were. Lots and lots of joking.
So, what is your go-to attack strategy and why? And what's your most hated strategy and why?
I think for me at this point, I really much like to do like Queen Charge Drag Riders or Queen Charge Hydra with drags and drag riders. That's basically because the meta is so air heavy right now. I usually do Queen Charge Hybrid or some smash attacks. That's basically why I just want to do that mainly. And if I say that I hate Lalo, well, I don't hate that, but basically comes from because I used to play with really old iPad, and before they introduced two line where you have those two lines for your troops, I couldn't do Lalo at all because the balloons are on the left side and all the hasties are on the right side. And if you have an old iPad, it's like so narrow that I either forgot to use 3 hasties or 15 balloons. That was just impossible. So that's probably the main reason that I don't Lalo at all. Because, for example, on Town Hall 9, I did a lot of Queen Charge Lalos, but it's much easier because you don't have that much of troops.
Right.
And you don't have to be so fast.
ODS, how about you?
Me?
Yep.
So you're asking what our favorite attack is, or my favorite attack is.
Right.
I used a lot of Drag Clone in August, and I mean, let's just go with that. Everyone thinks that's all we do, and that's perfectly fine. I'm good with that.
Do you have a attack that you don't like to use that particularly?
For me, I'm willing to use whatever is needed to triple. The game of Clash is again really much, very much like rock, scissors, paper, you know,
Mhm.
and it's all about putting your troops in the best position to succeed, bringing whatever troops might best succeed. And I think I learned a lot of that from watching Agent play for so long. He has a great eye for value, finding out what the bases give you, and it's really just about finding a place, finding the troops that will overwhelm whatever defense, whatever weak points there are in a base. If it's witches, then you know that the bane of witches would be the whiz towers and or mortars or ITs or scatters at 14. But witches can crush a hero, right? If you have a corner king,
Hmm.
you can drop a witch on that corner king and watch the witch just kill the king eventually. So it really is just about finding whatever might work for the base. And drag clone was what worked in August. There's no specific answer for me. You've watched me play Town Hall 11 in our last, in VM's invite season. I did a lot of the last attacks at 11. You know, I don't lalo much, but you know also that I pretty much do anything else, whatever's needed to try and triple a base, whether it's dragons, whether it's Mecha Smash, whether it's witches, whatever it might be, or miners, Queen Church miners. You saw me do that
Yeah.
to close out one of the wars at 11. It really is whatever is needed.
So there's always a lot of talk about negativity from various people or teams or whatever. In doesn't seem to matter what game or social media platform you're on, but you guys seem to be extremely positive and supportive of each other. Can you tell us a bit about how that works for you in your wars and game prep?
Mm, I think the main point for me is that play with the people you like to be. That's basically about it, because that makes the environment positive and supportive at that point. And ODS can talk about teams more, but I think that you don't necessarily have to have all star players. You have a good team, and you might end up in the qualifiers.
So very, very true. I actually have an MBA with one of my focuses for that MBA being management of organizations. And it really is about the team. You know, Clash of Clans is an individual's game, right? We do our attacks. It's really, truly, you find that success when you are one, playing a game and having fun, and you have that fun by playing with people you like. And two, it's about that support group around you. It very much is about team. Wherever I've wanted to play, it's been very much about team. Within VM, we really tried to support each other, help each other through attacks, spot each other, build that chemistry, and understand, what things we needed to work on together, and have that willingness to do so. The Finns, it's very much the same thing. After every war, Costa or Osvi or someone is telling me, hey, you needed to do this differently. You needed to do that differently. They know me well enough at this point that they know they can tell me that, and I'm not going to be offended. I'm not going to be upset by it. And they can tell me that pretty much right away, right after a war. It's that mutual trust that's really, really important. Knowing that they want me to improve, not just for them, but for me, and trusting that. I've gotten feedback from people where it didn't necessarily feel like that. Where I got berated, or it was like, okay, are you seeing the pebble in my eye and missing the log in your own, kind of thing. It's very much that trust, that chemistry, that's really, really important. We're playing a game for fun.
Yes.
You know all of my common phrases, Kat. We control what we control, all that stuff. We're playing a game for fun. It has to be fun, and having the right team around you is what makes it fun and allows for success. And that's proved true in VM. That's proved true in TT. It's really, really important.
If I could just interject, Do you and you guys said that you met basically through negotiation. Are you getting to negotiate your matchups with the other teams, or is it basically all Supercell saying this is what's coming?
You mean in the qualifiers?
Sure, in the qualifier, yeah.
Yeah, they say when they happen, when you hit and all that. So basically, you don't have any saying on that there.
So is there any interaction between the qualifier teams? Like, did you get to talk to any of the like JX Tiger guys?
No.
Not so much, just on the Clash of Clans server.
Yeah.
So I did give props to Inquisition when they knocked us out by tagging their team in their general chat. So there is some chance for interaction, but within the qualifiers, pre-qualifier stuff, there is not much team-to-team interaction. That's different in other tournaments, though.
Oh yeah.
In Clash Masters, there was a joint lobby where the teams could talk to each other, and really that was just about here's our clan tags and the challenge, But other tournaments that we're doing, like the Fire Fiera, I'm in DMs with our current opponent and talking about stuff. Max doing the same for all the other leagues that TT is doing.
Very good.
ODS, I have to ask this. How do you feel about all the Darien comparisons? Are you getting a lot of requests these days for interviews?
I found it funny more than anything. You know that Will in VM has made that comment that I look like Darien for a long, long time now. You go back to the summer of 2019, and that's when I shaved my head, right? For Case's fundraiser.
Mhm.
It's grown out, obviously, since then. And as of about almost a year ago now, Will has been saying that I look like Darien when I posted a selfie in the VM server. It really is funny to me. In general, I usually keep my hair high and tight, but with the COVID stuff, hair places being shut down for a while, me not wanting to take mass transit, I've just decided to let it grow out and make something good of the situation. I'm actually growing it out until it's long enough to cut for a donation to charity. It's all pretty funny to me that people see me with the long hair now and think that's how I usually am, and think that I look like Darien. I'll say this: there are worse people to be compared to.
For sure. Mac, tell us a little bit. Are you getting any feedback from the Finnish fans about your participation?
Yeah. Basically, everyone that I've talked about in the Finnish war community, they are really happy about it. Well, the Finnish war community isn't that big, so basically, I've played almost with every one of them, and I know them pretty well. So yeah, some, and basically it's all in the positive side.
You asked if we were getting lots of interview requests, and
Yeah.
we were definitely happy to take this one. We've known you guys for a long, long time. Love you guys. I know I've listened to all 14 prior episodes of Pineapples and Thorns. So you guys are great, and we're really happy to be on this one. About the others, it's always been more about the team. You asked me specifically if I'm getting a lot of interview requests. If people are interested in talking about TT, I'm happy to do that.
Mhm.
You guys had asked me to be on this podcast before. It's a lot easier for me to talk about TT than it is to talk about myself. So I'm very happy to be here today. Thank you.
I appreciate you guys coming on. So tell us a little bit how you balance gaming versus your health, because, sitting down playing Clash of Clans for hours at a time, makes you pretty sedentary. Do you do anything to prepare physically for the weekend?
Well, if I think about qualifier weekend, I didn't rest that much because I wasn't in the lineup. I was sleeping like 4 hours a night and helping and giving opportunity to the players to have some rest. Yeah, usually I try to sleep way more than ODS does. Well, it's basically balancing. Like I think I do a lot of outdoor stuff, go into the woods. I like to ride with my bike, then just be with the family, I think.
Mac is often in the sauna cooking sausages.
I haven't done that in ages. Yeah.
Well, you've definitely been in the sauna.
Yeah.
Maybe not the cooking sausage, but
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Speaking of your families, how do they kind of respond to the demands that even the world qualifiers put on you guys? Are they understanding? Do they kind of say, "Okay, that time is yours, but then I need some time for us"?
I think I have a pretty good balance in general. When the week between the pre-qualifiers and the monthly qualifiers was basically that I just said to my wife that sorry, now it's gonna be this week. Like I'm coming home from work, I'm putting my headset on and being in voice with everyone, basically rest of the night, and she was okay with that. And I think I have something coming for her when we get our prize money.
Hey, very good.
Mac truly is an inspiration on that. He really is good about the Clash versus life balance. You know, he goes for his exercise runs or bike trips and stuff. He definitely does try and take care of himself, and it's always fun listening to him talk about his wife. You can tell how much they work well together as a team. You know, just every time he does mention her, it's kind of cool. It's kind of cool. It's inspiring. As for me, in terms of yeah, Clash and exercise health balance, I don't know. Maybe we should move on to the next question.
You've already given us a bunch of advice on prepping for the Worlds, right? You had Mac act as an admin, throw you some curveballs. Many people have joined and left the team, and you're looking for that best chemistry. Is there any other pieces of advice you might throw out that maybe you didn't know before you started down that journey that would help someone else thinking they would like to give this a go?
It was 100% Mac putting together the preparations for the week. You know, coming up with the practice wars, operating as the admin was his idea, and it was a very good idea. Working through, you know, things with the people we had building bases for us, he took care of a lot of that as well. It's it's very much about the support crew. It's not just the 5 players, and I'm really glad that we get to mention those other guys, you know, who tested bases, who worked on things throughout the week. That I think is the biggest piece of advice. Just find the right team for you. Every clan, every group has a different culture, and you have to find the one that has the right common interests, the right trust level, the right chemistry overall, and just once you find that, make sure you hang on to that and don't lose it. Don't let any petty squabbles get in the way. You know, just make sure that you hang on to that chemistry and that team when you have it.
Yeah.
Excellent. So, if you're not playing Clash or on Discord on voice, what do you like to be doing?
I probably will be out in the woods or cooking something. And I think I'm not actually playing any other games at the moment. Clash is the only one. Maybe because if I take more games, it will hurt either in Clash or in the real life, because it can be quite time consuming.
Yeah, Mac hit it on the head there. I actually almost retired from Clash a couple of years ago because I was playing a lot of Overwatch.
Yes.
And I almost switched into playing that instead of Clash of Clans. But in terms of other things that I enjoy doing, the joke in VM is that I'm always going to walk the dog, and it may kind of mean something different from actually walking the dog. But I usually am walking the dog. So Snoopy definitely gets her exercise.
Can you think of what your first video game or your first mobile game you ever played?
I go back to the days of the original arcade games and stuff. Qbert was one of my favorite games. I don't even know how many people actually know what that is at this point. Spy Hunter was another one. Dig Dug. Yeah, these were all in the mid 1980s when I was playing all these different games. In the early 90s, it would be Tetris and or pinball. Pinball games that were big for me. Consoles became big at that time too. So I remember going up to my freshman year of college, bringing my Sega
Wow,
Genesis,
yeah.
Intra, you know, And then my sophomore year, bringing a Super NES, playing a lot of SimCity and various Mario games on that. Yeah, it goes way back.
How about you, Mac?
Yeah, I think for me, I jump in the same wagon with the ODS, but I think I will jump in there in the point of Super Nintendo and the Mario games. I'm not that old.
And what do you think your favorite game of all time is? I mean, obviously we spend a lot of time on Clash because some of us like that full 9 years now that they have had their anniversary.
Yeah.
But what was your favorite one to play?
Well, the Clash is the game that I've played the longest, I think. So that might be the favorite in that sense.
Yes.
And I haven't played any other similar games that has this social aspect the Clash has. So I think that's the main reason I still play.
Yeah, that's a very good point, Mac. Really, the social aspect is huge. And you also are right in that this is the game that I played the longest. In terms of video games itself or mobile games itself, it's not why I play, but it's really also kind of cool that I've actually won money playing Clash of Clans, you know? I was on a team that finished 5th in US Mobile Open and we won some money there. I was on a different team with where we finished winning the EYG Town Hall 11s tournament and won some money there. And then this monthly qualifiers thing. It's kind of cool. It really is kind of cool. And I am far from a pro. Anyone who watches me attack knows that. But it's kind of cool to say that we've actually won money.
Absolutely.
So let's swing back and talk a little bit about Clash, just some fun things. Hero pets. Tell us what your favorite hero pet is and why.
You know, this question, it reminds me of being on Voice with a bunch of Clash babes back when I was the leader of Clash Bows, and someone trying to stir the pot asking who my favorite Clash babe was. I was smart enough to duck the question then. All of the pets have saved my bacon at least once. The yak, with his ability to clean up skellies when I'm sending my king in somewhere, has always been nice and valuable. The unicorn, keeping my queen alive, definitely done some good work too. The lassie jumping in front of my RC and tanking for her when she's finishing up the last two defenses. And that owl, Peter mentioned it with that chain, has saved him.
Yep.
Definitely done so for me too. If I had to pick one, I'd probably say the unicorn just in honor of Dar. But yeah, they're all great.
I would definitely say that the unicorn is my favorite, but not because of Dar. It's just because ODS remembers that we both were. Was it CVL season 2 or 3 where they had this tier system for the Town Hall 10s?
Yes.
For the how near maxed you were. Yeah, we both were like tier 4 Town Hall 10s that nobody used. Nobody had them because they were almost maxed. We called them the unicorns because they were none of them except two of us.
So let me explain that really quickly. CWL, you generally wanted more maxed accounts, and people realized pretty quickly that if you only stayed with your max account throughout the whole season, you'd never be able to progress to the next level. So they came up with a tier system in which you would upgrade slowly but surely. The first season that they did it, they had a static tier system, and that's what Mac's talking about. They had a 5-level Town Hall 10 tier system, and no one else had tier 4s. So it just meant that you had certain defenses upgraded to a certain level, not fully maxed, and that was supposed to be a chance to get everyone involved in playing, even if they weren't fully maxed.
And the requirement changed through the year, didn't it? You had to have so many tier 1s to begin with, and then by the end of it was much, much less tier 1s, yeah.
That was the subsequent tier system, in which it was a progressive system, static system, and yes, so it allowed me to upgrade, from a Town Hall 10 up to a max 11.
Yeah.
Throughout the season, slowly but surely adding defenses along the way.
Spend a lot of time calculating people's weights as recruits coming into SL.
Yes, yeah.
Not anymore.
Luckily, you don't have to do that anymore.
That's right.
Nobody cares about the tiers.
And that's actually a big part of why Mac and I hit it off, because in that very first negotiation, Barhasi Alaki versus VM in season 2 of CWL, we were joking around about unicorns and stuff.
And we both get into the war
Yes, yes,
with those accounts.
yes.
So let's chat about the current state of the game. Do you guys think it's balanced for Town Hall 14? That's a loaded question, right?
Very, very loaded question. As we said earlier, you know, I understand the frustration that a lot of the true pros have with the current state of the meta. It's something that we do all face. You know, it really emphasizes what we said about Costa earlier, that his ability to identify what's working and what's not working and push us in the right direction is a big part of success. So it kind of changes what's needed to be successful. And I think that's what showed through in August.
Yeah, and I think, well, it might be that it isn't that balanced, but for me, it's always about that every player has the same tools. So if you don't want to use something just because it's probably better than the other, and don't use it. But yeah, I think like ODS said before, that the Town Hall 10 is the most balanced at the moment. I think that is true also. So of course it could be much better. Maybe I think that if then it would be perfectly balanced if you don't ever need to use average attack duration to decide the war.
Yeah, and very much, you know, the focus right now is on Town Hall 14 play, and that's very fair. You know, that's the top Town Hall. It's where most of the tournaments are focused. But if you have a lower Town Hall, there's still lots of play available for you. In the NDL, we're doing a Town Hall 10 league only. I know Cat's doing a Town Hall 9 league only. There's Town Hall 11 only play. In the CWL, in the second world, you know, we just finished up the old school season in which it was Town Hall 11s, 10s, and 9s in a mixed breakdown together. So there's still plenty of play for people who don't have that Town Hall 14. I know that they feel kind of shut out at this point, but if you look, there is play available for you too.
Did you hear that, Butters? It's out there for you. So they keep talking about the update. You know, lots of people were predicting a September update because of the packages that came into the thing. And, you know, normally I think the timing is October.
Yeah.
Is there something you're looking forward to Supercell offering us with the next update?
Not really. I just hope that no hero levels and no pet levels.
For me, I think I would really appreciate a return to a ground meta.
Mm-hmm.
Despite our success in August, me personally, I'm pretty much a ground pounder. So I wouldn't mind, you know, being given more opportunities to use hogs, use miners, and such. I know that one attack in the qualifiers involved a lot of hogs, and that was kind of cool to see. But I don't know that I personally can make it work right now. And it would be nice to have it be more viable again.
Very good. Yeah.
Well, they are talking about new expo levels, new mortar levels, and then there's this one image I saw that with us setting on the eagle for a burst and a poison, which was interesting.
I can't think of how that helps ground just at the moment,
Yeah.
but good for Supercell for moving forward.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, they definitely, you know, 9 years is a really long time for a mobile game,
Mhm.
for any game, you know. And they've definitely done a good job of continuing to keep it fresh and keeping people around.
Agreed.
Wonderful. I want to say thank you guys for coming on the show. I really appreciate it. Do you have any shout outs that you want to give?
Mac, you want to go first?
I think, well, all the Finns who listen, that I hope to see someone else get to the monthly qualifiers also.
I kind of knew you'd cover the Finns, so that's why I suggested you go first.
Yeah.
Having played in VM for 10 full seasons, you know, for so many years now, it really is important for me to just shout out everyone that I've ever played with there. It's something that's helped me in a lot of ways through, the tough times we're going through right now. They've always been the family that I get to pick for myself, So everyone who's ever played in VM, I appreciate you. Thank you very much for having been around, having supported me, for letting me support you. Thank you.
Well said.
Peter, how about you? Do you have any shout outs?
Actually, yes, I would. I'd like to shout out Phoenix Reloaded. They're in their last war before they hit level 10, so that's exciting. I also like to shout out Got Banned for organizing the summer scrim in the CFF. Congratulations to KOZ, and thank you to Kat for running the team I got to play on, Yak on my unicorn. And that's all.
Awesome.
And yeah, thank you guys, both of you. Shout out to both of you. I
Yeah.
have listened to every episode of this podcast, and you guys are great. We really appreciate the chance to come in here and talk about GT. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Thanks a lot.
A treat for us too. Very eye-opening.
Yeah, for sure. And just want to tell everybody, make sure you follow Tarilla Tavatan starting September 18th in the Run for the World qualifiers. Best of luck, guys.
Thanks.
And thank you, everybody, for listening. If you're looking for a great group of clans in either Clash of Clans or Clash Royale, visit the Clash Files Discord to apply. And as always, send us your comments, ideas, and questions to us at KGH Podcast on Twitter or join the Clash Files Discord at discord.gg/clashfiles.